Alright, so we are back on the channel, and today we are talking about one of football's craziest stories over the past little while. It is the story of one Alexander Isak, and how he has been held hostage by his own club. The story started all the way back in August after Liverpool signed Hugo Ekitike, and looked like Isak was going to stay at Newcastle after all. The rumors had been going all summer to that point, but then around August or so, the rumors started to get more serious. Even after Liverpool had signed Hugo Ekitike, it had come out they are still going for Isak, and Isak wants to go there. And then all chaos broke loose. However, it looked like it was starting to come to a standstill until yesterday. And I'll show you Alexander Isak's story right here. He released this around mid-afternoon yesterday. I'm proud to be recognized by my fellow professionals with a place in the PFA Premier League Team of the Season for 2024-25. First and foremost, I want to thank my teammates and everyone at Newcastle United who supported me along the way. Not the ceremony tonight. With everything going on, it didn't feel right to be there. I've kept quiet for a long time while others have spoken. That silence has allowed people to push their own version of events, even though they know it doesn't reflect what was really said and agreed behind closed doors. The reality is that promises were made, and the club has known my position for a long time. So now act as if those issues are only emerging is misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. That's where things are for me right now, and why change is in the best interest of everyone, not just myself, Alexander Isak. Now that is very interesting. We're going to break that down in a little bit, but about 2 hours later, out on Newcastle's website came this. Latest Newcastle United statement, Alexander Isak. We are disappointed to have been alerted to a social media post by Alexander Isak this evening. We are clear in response that Alex remains under contract and that no commitment has ever been made by a club official that Alex can leave Newcastle United this summer. We want to keep our best players, but we also understand players have their own wishes and we listen to their views. As explained to Alex and his representatives, we must always take into consideration the best interests of Newcastle United, the team and the supporters, and all decisions. And we have been clear that the conditions of a sale this summer have not transpired. We do not foresee those conditions being met. This is a proud football club with proud traditions, and we strive to retain our family feel. Alex remains part of our family, and we welcome him back when he's ready to rejoin his teammates. So, what's going on? What are we going to make of that? Now, from looking at these two statements, to me, Isak's statement feels more real, it feels more personal, it feels just better to me, but there's a lot of, like, mashing and messing around in those two statements. Now, the truth is, Isak has a massive contract with Newcastle. Look, goes all the way up to the end of the 27-28 season. Started, I think that's when he signed for Newcastle. Yeah, that's when he signed for Newcastle. And it was a big deal. And now he is on to the fourth of those 6 years. And I would think if you want to leave, why wouldn't you find a 4-year deal instead of a 6-year deal? And that's what Newcastle is saying as well. However, it's never really been about the contracts, I don't think, because we've seen clubs that sign players big contracts and then want them out 2 summers later, and the player's like, no, we signed a contract, I'm going to stay at the end of that contract, which I respect when it's not on Barca, but when it is, I'm very annoyed. I think it's just about Newcastle doing everything they can to not have to sell their best player, really. As I said, we want to keep our best players, and Newcastle really don't have anyone right now. They have lost out on everything. Lost out on Sesko. They lost out on Ekatike. And now they might lose out on Isak as well. And I think this is the desperation coming out from Newcastle that they don't want to. Now, they could have just suckled up to him. They could have just said, oh, we're going to do everything for you. We're going to do all that. But no, they haven't played him. They've put out statements about him online, which I respect that. It's probably not going to make Isak too happy, but I respect not treating any player better than any other. That being said, I do think they would take a £110 million bid for anyone else, except maybe Guimaraes, but I haven't heard anything about him transfer-wise in the last 2 years. Yeah, it's an interesting situation. Bomb shells are going off. My prediction for this is that I think we're going to see him at Liverpool eventually. Liverpool has sanctioned a £130 million bid from transfer rumors that I've heard. They're going to submit that bid in the coming days. I don't know if that'll be too much for Newcastle to turn down. I don't think Newcastle can turn that down, really, for Isak. I'd respect the hell of him if they did. It's either the best decision in history or the worst decision in history, but to me, I would take 130 mil. Isak, how old is Isak now? I think he's like 26 or something like that. He's 25. He's turning 26 next month. 130 million for a 26-year-old, pretty much. That's pretty good. If this guy was 20 and putting up those numbers, I don't think you realistically pay much more than 150 for him. So to get that for a 26-year-old, it's pretty good. But anyway, that's my yapping for today. It was a shorter video, but still one that had to be done, a topic that we have to talk about, one that we're probably going to see updates on. Yes, I will update my background. We're going to have more than just the Holland kit and the Lewandowski scarf. We're going to have more than that. My aim is to switch around the kits back there. I have a whole bunch right beside me. I have that Ajax Bob Marley one. I have a Real Madrid one from a couple years ago. I have a lot of really nice ones. You're gonna see them. We're gonna see them soon. That's it for me for right now. See you soon.